Hey folks, Nino here. Welcome to another installment of my Chernarus loot run guide. This guide will focus on the southern spawn points of Zelenogorsk, often simply referred to as Cherno. This will take us all the way to the endgame military base Tisy. This is one of my favorite runs, and it is certainly an ambitious run that almost always turns into an exciting adventure. This video is part of a series of loot guides for Chernarus. If you'd like to check out a different loot route, focusing on another spawn point, the loot routes will be linked below in the description. This video uses the chapter feature to easily skip around the video by location. If you do find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. My first advice, if you are a new player, is to look for a road sign along the outskirts of town. Find the name of the town, then go to a website like iSurvive and type in the name of the town into the search box in the top left. This will give you a good idea where you are. One last note before we start, I'll be focusing on where to find military gear. Make sure to loot each town for food and water as well. Alright, let's hop into the run. There are many different areas you can spawn in when getting a Cherno spawn. For the purpose of this video, we're going to start over near the docks on the eastern side of Cherno. Starting off at the docks, there is a huge shipping yard with a bunch of containers. The camo containers have military cargo. Looting each military container can land you some good loot early on. After looting the containers, we are heading north towards the top of this hill. Here you will find a small military camp with a number of military tents and tables to loot. Continue northwest towards the high-rise apartments, aiming for this roundabout with the statue on top. This will point you to the correct direction. Keep continuing up the hill and loot any houses you wish to along the way in search of food and water. Connecting to this road will now lead you to another small military checkpoint with military tents and tables to loot. Continuing straight will point us to our next location, the Balota Airfield. Take a moment to inspect the area from the hillside, looking for hostile players. Start looting from east to west, checking for tents, barracks, and loose loot along the way. Make sure to hit the tents behind the civilian airport hangar as well. Go ahead and take the dirt road southwest and link back up with the main road going west. You will quickly find the town of Balota, load up with food if you need it, and hydrate at the water pump. Continuing west, we will find ourselves in the next small town of Chernarus, which also has a water pump, police station, and 2 camo military containers to check out. Now if you look in the distance, we can see Prison Island to the southwest. This will be our next location to explore. This is a very dangerous area and is best approached cautiously. Look and listen for players. Here you have an entire prison to loot, a military headquarters, as well as civilian barracks. Once finished, get back to the mainland and continue on the coastal road going west. Arriving in Kamenka, this will be our last town on the coast. There's not much to note here. Search for food and visit the water pump. Also, take a look at the general store. We are going to be going north from here, but I quickly wanted to mention there is another small military camp down the road to the west. It's sort of out of the way though. You can certainly visit it if you'd like, but I just typically head north from here. Alright, back in Kamenka, we're heading north on this road. Following the road north will lead us to our next destination, the Pavlovo military base. Once again, this is a very dangerous place to loot. I almost always run into someone here. At this curve in the road, continue straight off the road and into the forest. You will soon find yourself at the walls of the base. Inside, you will find a considerable number of military installations such as barracks, containers, guardhouses, as well as a hospital in the middle that can provide some useful medication. When finished, exit the military base, taking this road to the northwest. At the fork in the road, take a right to continue north. You will soon find yourself in Pavlovo. There's not much to note here. Fill up on water at the pump. Check the general store. And continue north to Zelenogorsk. Approaching Zelenogorsk, you will immediately find a military base at the entrance to the city. Tread carefully here. You may want to take a couple minutes to watch the base from the hill and see if you can spot enemy players. Entering the military compound, there are a number of military barracks, cargo containers, and a headquarters to loot. Make sure to check the train tracks behind the headquarters, as there are a number of military cargo containers to check there as well. Inside the town, there is also a water pump, and a police station to loot. We will be going off-road here, so pay close attention. Leaving Zelenogorsk, aim your camera to the northeast and you'll see the tower of Green Mountain. You can head directly through the woods and aim for the tower. Although this is a small military outpost, it is often a PvP hotspot. Keep that in mind. It's very common to run into people here, so be careful. Leaving the base, head slightly northwest. At the base of the hill, you will find a small group of camp houses and a hunter pub. Usually these buildings have a chance for scopes and long rifles. To find our next location, align yourself with this wall and continue straight. This will point you directly to our next military camp, a small checkpoint on the road with a couple military tents. After looting, take a slight left and head down this open field to the west. At the bottom of the hill, you will find a dirt path. This path will take us to a place with a ton of camp houses to loot, which often contain scopes, rifles, and other valuable equipment. Cross back over the river and follow the train tracks north. Once you get to a pile of dead zombies, you'll be very close to a popular military base. Take a moment to stop and listen for players. Keep an eye on the hill to the east, as this is another location players come from. It is a good idea to slowly walk through the woods and wait till you see the base. If it looks safe, go ahead and loot it. Keep in mind there are often a lot of zombies here. Making it out alive will land you a good chunk of military loot. Orientate yourself to exit these sandbags, and we're going to head directly east up this hill through Mishkino and continue down the road. At the fork in the road, take a left. Continuing down this road will take us to Pustoshka, a large town but without any real notable features aside from a water pump in the middle of town. Every town from here on out is very risky and you may encounter hostile players at any moment. Continue down the road and we will soon find ourselves in Vybor. Be careful here, this is one of the last towns before the Northwest Airfield, and often a place visited by geared players on their way to the airfield. Here you can find a police station, water pump, guardhouse, and a number of military containers. Now, before we head to the airfield, let's take one more detour to the Vybor military base. Head slightly east towards the trees at the end of this field. Vybor military base includes a number of military barracks, headquarters, guardhouse, and cargo containers. Now, if we exit the base at the northern tip, it will point us directly towards the Northwest Airfield. This airfield is absolutely massive and can warrant an entire separate guide. Take your time looting the airfield and check out as much or as little as you'd like. This is a high-risk area, so keep in cover and play smart. When you are finished, look for this airplane at the edge of the airfield. This plane will point you towards a clearing in the trees. If you continue straight down this path, it will take you straight to the Tisy military base. Along the way, you will pass between Topolniki and Novaya Petrovka. You can loot these areas if you wish, but I will continue straight towards the Tisy military on top of the hill. You can follow this road if you like, or stick to the trees. This is an endgame base with the highest tier of loot in the game. You'll find an expansive tent city to the south. As you head north, you will find military garages, headquarters, barracks, cargo containers, and a large regimental barracks. I like to finish off the run by heading to the radar tower on the northwest edge of the base. If you are looking for one more thing to do, you can head southwest to the St. Roman Ski Resort with more camp houses for a chance at scopes, ammo, and hunting supplies. Additionally, at the top of the hill, there are more camp houses to loot as well. Alright, that's going to wrap up our run. If you'd like to check out more of my loot guides, I do have a playlist with all of them in one place. I'll also provide a link to my other Chernarus runs in the description. If you found this video helpful in any way, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like. As always, have fun in DayZ, take it easy, peace.